Buongiorno! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. And I am currently fixated on saying buongiorno. So just let me do it. Just let me do it. I have been asking on my Instagram a quick plug. It's at the Rudi Berry on Instagram and it's at Rudi Berry on TikTok. In my broadcast channel, which is basically just a way for me to direct message you, I've been asking like what I should be filming first and in what order so I can make sure I'm getting you guys the things that you want to see. And in the next list of options after July favorites and flops, it was the Ulta and Sephora haul that I recently picked up. So that is what we are doing today. We are going to go over, I would say it's a pretty sizable haul of things I got from Sephora and Ulta. A lot of new stuff and like a few things that are either line extensions, like a lot of line extensions, and a little perfume moment. And I have been trying to review these products sort of like one by one on my shorts, and so there's going to be a few of those that I've been rolling out so you can get like a more in-depth review on each specific product. But I did put all of these on my face in a video and we will put it in the B-roll along, while I'm talking about the products so you can see what they look like as they're going on the skin. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want like a quick first impression plus a sizable Ulta Sephora haul, keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe. My name is Rudi. Like I said, we talk about skincare, makeup, body care, vlogging. It's kind of old YouTube with new makeup and I would love to have you subscribe. Also, before we get into it, I am wearing a new foundation and concealer that is not out yet. It's from two different brands, but the foundation is one and the concealer is another, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments because I am potentially going to be working with them on these for sponsored videos, and I think it looks really, really good, even the combination of the two, but I'm just curious if you think that my base looks good today. Because I think it looks good. And I would say it's kind of like a, highly anticipated launch. So should we hop in with Sephora or Ulta first? Let's do Sephora because it's just right in front of me. And let's start with the skin tint that I picked up. I've been feeling so #grateful that a lot of the skin tint launches recently have been really good. And I've been able to kind of add my stamp of approval on quite a few recently. And by that I just mean literally just one. Literally just the Hourglass one. It's so hard for me to find a skin tint that to me beats out my Summer Fridays skin tint. As you guys know, this is my favorite skin tint. I wear it almost every single day. But as of recently, I have been testing out and using the Hourglass Veil skin tint, and I wear it in shade 8, and it is so freaking good. And I was kind of shocked because I felt like I was starting to wear it more than my Summer Fridays. And so I was nervous, not sure how this skin tint would work out because honestly, I'm very picky about skin tints. But this one is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Hydrate, smooth, and correct. I was nervous about this one because I was not a fan of the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. This was viral on TikTok a little bit ago because it's such a unique product. It's this powder balm style texture that kind of sinks into the skin and gives you a sort of mattified finish to the face, but it's kind of a creamy base. It's very unique, very interesting, and I can see why a lot of people like it. I personally am not a fan of it. I felt that it left my skin looking pretty dry, especially as I get older. I've noticed my skin just getting drier in general. So I wasn't a huge fan of this, so I was a little bit nervous about what the liquid skin tint version would come out to, but I love this. So I'm shade 3 in the balm powder and 4 in the skin tint. I will say it is slightly a little bit too light for me, but that's okay because once we get to the winter months, it'll be fine. It is really, really nice. I'm trying to give you a comparison between my 3 favorites because that's the question I know I'm gonna get. I would say this product leaves a natural to satiny dewy finish, not super dewy, not as dewy as the Hourglass. And it has a little more coverage or equal coverage to the Summer Fridays, less coverage to the Hourglass. And it doesn't exactly blur the skin, in my opinion. It keeps your pores showing, it keeps some of the imperfections on your skin, but it just creates a really nice veil on your skin that's not red. It takes away all of the redness, all of the discoloration on your skin, and it does feel very hydrating. I just think this is really solid. I really like it. I've been using it in conjunction with the Hourglass and with the Summer Fridays, because this isn't my perfect shade right now, I'm not using it quite as much, but I know when my skin gets a little more pale and the sun is not out as often in the summer, I'm going to be using this all the time. I really, really like it. It hasn't broken me out at all. I'm really glad to be finding more skin tints that I feel like I can recommend to you guys. So far so good with the Danessa Myricks. Next up, let's talk about a sort of like extension line that recently came out from In Beauty Project. So you probably know about their face glaze. I've done a million ads with this and their brand. I love In Beauty Project and I really like this product a lot. It's sort of like a highlighter, but it's more of a skincare based highlighter, vegan squalene, ceramides, hyaluronic acid. They created a bronze limited edition line that includes a body oil, a lip oil, and then they also released the face glaze bronze. So this is like the sister to the face glaze, and I think it's really cool that they are expanding into more makeup because In Beauty Project is technically a skincare brand, but I love their lip oils. I love the face glaze. I think it's kind of cool that they're adding this bronzer element into the line. I'm pretty sure I used this in the video that I'm about to put in here. If not, I like it, I don't love it. So I really do love the consistency of the face glaze, but I think the reason you would want to be using this is to get an all over glow to your skin. I think it would be a good mixing medium for a product like this, where you just wanted to add a little bit of bronze to your face, or if you wanted to equal out your skin to body ratio, if you had been self-tanning, this would be a good product to use all over the face. I think I tried to use it more as a pinpointed bronzer and I wasn't loving that result because I like to use this as a pinpointed highlight. So instead of doing that, I think it is better suited, especially the color, to sort of be used all over the face. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it and it has a quite orangey undertone. So I prefer to use this lightly all over the face rather than using it in pinpointed areas as a bronzer, because I just find the color to be a little orange for a more built up look. But I think for all over the face, it's really lightweight and thin, and it will give you that sort of all over bronzy glow rather than just like pinpointed oranginess. So there are a lot of products like this out there. I really love the Say Beauty Glowy Super Gel in their brown shade. That's the one I use when I'm self-tanned. So it might be hard for me to switch that with this one. But it is interesting. If you like the face glaze formula, then you will like the face glaze bronze as well when it comes to formulation. Speaking of bronzers, I actually picked up two interesting things. One is another sort of extension to a line, which is the Bare Minerals Blonzer line. And then I also grabbed one of their highlighting blushes. So Bare Minerals created blonzers and I have a couple of shades of them and I really love them. So these are my favorite shades. I have Kiss of Pink and Kiss of Rose, as well as Kiss of Copper. That's down there, so I'm not gonna show you, but you'll get the gist when I show you. They kind of have like a blushy, highlighty, bronzy formulation to them, and they are so pretty, so easy to use, and I just love the colors. So they extended the line to have a few more shades, and one of those shades was Kiss of Spice. And I thought for sure I was going to like this because it has this like terracotta-y brown undertone. But unfortunately, I find that it gives me the same sort of coloration on the skin that I was just talking about with the face glaze, where it's a little too orangey for me. And I tried to use this as a bronzer as well, because that's kind of the whole point. It's a blushy bronzer. And I just found it to be a little too highlighty, a little too intense, and it was quite powdery. So I don't recommend using that one as a bronzer as I would a blush, which we can put a little bit on right now. The problem with these as well is that if you wear a cream base, they will stick to the cream very, very easily because they are sort of a really lightweight powder. So I think it's super pretty as a blush or a blush topper if you wanted to set your cream blush, but I wouldn't use it as a bronzer, sort of like as they suggest. You could use it as both. I think it's very pretty. It's not the prettiest one in the line, but it is pretty, and if you find a shade that you like in this formula, highly recommend it. On the other end, I don't feel like I'm a huge fan of the highlighting blush. So I feel like they kind of took the line of the blonzer and they were like, oh, blush, bronzer, let's do blush highlighter and see if we can turn that into something, which they're just highlighters. They're not blushes. Similar to this isn't a bronzer, it's a blush. It's pretty, but it doesn't really give you much of anything, turns out. It's just kind of very powdery. I got mine in the shade Opal Glow, which I think is the lightest option. I found that it just doesn't really highlight the way that I would like a product like this to highlight. So it doesn't really do much. It kind of reminds me of a downplayed version of the Hourglass highlighters that give you just like a little bit of something, but really I spent a lot of money on a powder that does literally nothing. I even tried to use this like as an inner corner highlight, and I felt like it just was giving me nothing. So I don't know. I don't think these are worth it in terms of this formulation. I much prefer the bronzers over the highlighting blushes because this literally does nothing for you. I mean, it gives you like a tiny bit of highlight, but like, I don't know. I think if you're gonna spend money on a highlight, you want it to actually work, especially if it's powder. So the bronzer was a yes, and the blush was the highlighter was a no. Moving on to yet another product that I still can't decide if I like it, and I think I do, but I don't know. And that is the Givenchy Prism Libre blushes. I have heard nothing but good things about these on TikTok specifically, of people really liking them, and I have really started loving a lot of products from Givenchy, especially their concealer, and it's just so pretty. It's got this mirror on the front, and then it has 4 different powder shades here, and you mix it together, and it comes with this little sponge, and it's a loose powder, and then you just buff it into the skin. But I have not found the right application for this. So I tried to use a regular brush with it, and it wasn't giving me what I wanted, because when you think about a loose powder, you wouldn't usually swipe it on the face, right? You would stamp it in with either like a sponge or something like that. But I don't really love this one either, because I find that when you dunk it in there, it leaves those little dots from the holes on the product on your face. So I don't like using this either. So I'm trying to think of the best method of application. I'm kind of thinking something like this, like the Beauty Blender thing. Let's try a little bit. I mean, whatever. The problem is, see how it looks like this? It's just like this little pigment in there. And I want to make sure that my Beauty Blender is picking up on all of that and not just on one specific shade. And as you can see, it just like leaves sort of little dots on the Beauty Blender. And I don't want that. So I saw Rose and Ben do a video where she was using a powder puff to get that. And I'm like, okay, I could see that. I just think it's a little bit of, it's a lot more work than I was anticipating it to be for a blush. But I am curious because I think the color is really pretty, and it's a nice mattified finish to a blush, which I don't usually wear, but I think that these 4 colors together are really pretty, and I want to make it work because it was really expensive, and I think the idea is there. I just got to figure out the best way to use it. So if you know, help a girl out, because mommy don't know. It's so pretty though. So anyways, I'm still figuring that one out. I like it, don't love it. The color that I've been seeing go viral in this formula is like the super bright pink. I'm not a bright pink person. This one is in shade 4, and I like it. I like it. Still figuring it out, but I do like it. And last but not least, from Sephora, I picked up the Skylar Boardwalk Delight perfume in the roll-on. So if you don't know who Lauren May Beauty is, you probably do, because I think we have similar followers and subscribers. She is a really amazing beauty channel that I've followed for years. And she also has a fragrance channel, and it's like my favorite fragrance channel because she's really good at describing scents and like getting you excited to wear perfume. And she really loves this one. She loves cotton candy scents, and as I've gotten older, I've become more interested in gourmand type of scents that really last on the skin and just make you smell sweet and good. And the notes in this one sounded really interesting to me. I will read them to you. So the notes in this are pure vanilla, cotton candy, coconut milk. Like, it is very much that. And I like it, don't love it. Like, I don't know what's going on with me, but to me, it smells more coconut milky than it does cotton candy. And I've had other cotton candy scents in my life that I think smell a bit more like cotton candy than this one does. I do like this though, and I'm wearing it today, and I keep wearing it. And something I really like to do with this one and the scent definitely lasts, and it has a really good scent throw. Like, you can smell yourself kind of all day. I like to layer a more bright citrus on top of this, so I wore the Charli D'Amelio Born Dreamer on top of this. That one's like a really bright pear scent, and it adds like a good mix of this like really sweet, sultry, gourmandy cotton candy with the citrus on top. I will say, if I smell this too much, it just starts to kind of mix all those notes together, and I'm not getting like the individual scents. But when I get just like a whiff of it, like that, I really, really like it. So I have to make sure I don't over wear this perfume, because I feel like if I start to wear it too much, I'm not gonna like it. But I think every once in a while, it'll be a really nice addition, and I like Skylar perfumes. I think they're really, really good. And that, my friends, was the Sephora order. So now we're gonna jump into the Ulta Beauty order, which was a lot of lip, a little bit of complexion, and some eyeball. And I've noticed also, like, you guys know I'm an Ulta Beauty girl. I've worked with them for years at this point, and I love working with them, and they're absolutely killing it in getting some of these brands that used to be like Sephora only for years. So Pat McGrath is coming over to Ulta Beauty. Like, they have some really cool, very high-end brands that have started to come over to Ulta. Half Magic, which I did a video getting ready for their launch party at Ulta. Fenty's at Ulta. There's just a lot of really good brands, and I'm really proud to see them expanding in the way that they are. So there are a few products that I picked up from Sephora that you can also get at Ulta, including the Bare Minerals bronzer. So I'll have that all linked down below. But let's chat through some of these honestly random products. We'll start again with complexion. I grabbed these Tula Skincare Radiant Skin Brightening Serum Concealer. I got mine in the shade 120, and I think it's just because it's really summery right now, but everything is really light on me, unfortunately, so this shade is a little too light for me at the moment, but that's okay. I made it work, and I really, really like it. Again, I'm really specific about what I like in a concealer, and I feel like this year there have been more concealers that are made for people who like light to light medium coverage with a dewy finish. That used to be impossible to find. If you know, back in the day, everything was matte, everything was Shape Tape, everything was full coverage matte. So to see a lot of brands expanding into hydrating, light coverage, dewy, it's perfect for me, so I'm not complaining about it. But it's great to see that like my concealer shade, like my concealer drawer has expanded from basically one concealer that I always wore, which is discontinued, the Tarte Hydro Sealer, to like a good amount of products that I feel really comfortable wearing sort of all the time. It didn't used to be that way. I used to literally have the one. So I'm really happy about that. This is not, there's nothing else to say besides that it's really nice. It's lightweight. I would say it's light to medium. It leaves a dewy to natural finish. I will leave a short for this product. Like, I will probably post in the next week so you can get a full in-depth review. But I think it's really nice, and if you can find a shade in it and you like what I tend to like in terms of concealer coverage, you will like this. The only gripe that I really have about this product is the actual applicator hole is a little bit too big for its britches, and it ends up being kind of a huge mess. Like, there's product all in this hole, and I like a concealer that's just like nice and tidy, and I just feel like I have to scrape off a lot of product before I put it on, because it kind of is everywhere. But besides the component, I really like the product. I think it works really well with the skin tint as well, as you can see in that video. So works well with skin tints, blends really well under the eyes and on other areas of the face. So I am really impressed with it, and I'm not really a person who wears a lot of makeup from Tula, so just saying. I have found the first product from Florence by Mills that I have ever liked. I'm not even kidding. Okay, I liked their eye cream. I liked their eye cream back in the day. This I had no expectation for, because I feel like her makeup is kind of like kitty and not very good. But this is the Florence by Mills Cheeky Pop Blush Stick. I really kind of had no expectation for this product, because I just think she makes products for tweens, and I don't know. But I was really intrigued by this shade in particular, which is the shade My Mimi. And you know I love a frickin' terracotta-y blush like this, and this is a really unique formula. This is the shade Swiped on its own, so it does have more of a pinky brown undertone to it than it does on the packaging. If you ask me, it looks more pink on the hand, and I really like it. It reminds me a lot of the Persona Cosmetics blush in Teddy, and it has an interesting formulation in that it's kind of really matte, but very, very creamy as well. So it definitely leaves a more matte finish to the skin, almost like a cream to powder. And I find that it works well with every single cream blush in my collection. So I'm a person who likes to have a warmer finish to their makeup. Obviously, I like having, you know, a bronzy sort of finish. So if I'm wearing a more pink blush, I will put this on first on the outer corners of my cheekbone and on my nose. And then I'll put the pink blush in the center, and it just warms up the look very well. I did not think I would be reaching for this as much as I am. I'm impressed with it. I think if you can find a color in it, you might really like these. If you like a more matte cream blush, it's really easy to apply. I put my brush on the product and then put it on the face, and I really like the component. I've never seen a component like this. It looks like a little like deodorant stick. So I don't know. So far so good with the Florence by Mills product. I'm actually quite shocked by that. Moving onwards, let's talk about some lip products that I am super happy with. I have to completely shout out my friend Scout in this portion of the video because she is the one who brought me this incredible lip combination. So let's start from the beginning. A while ago, I think in my last Ulta haul, I talked about this product from Stila, which I never wear. This is a lip stain. It's their calligraphy lip stains. This is in the shade Ariana. It's this bright orange. But when I saw it on the website, it was like the only shade that looked even semi-wearable at the time, but I never wear it because it ended up being super bright on the lips. So fast forward to me being in LA with Ulta Beauty, and I was talking to my friend Scout because her lips looked so good every single day. They looked lined and juicy and plump and red, and I was like, what is this lip combination? And she told me, and I immediately purchased it. So, turns out that the Stila Calligraphy line was recently expanded to include nude shades of the line. And I immediately bought the one that she was wearing. So this one is in the shade Malala. And it is a more brown toned nude, and it's perfect. So this is the shade here. You can do thin lines or fat lines. So if you want to line the lips or you want to fill them in with a full stain, you can do that. And I love the actual like design. I do. This is actually the same design as the Half Magic eyeliner pen. So like this is their eyeliner, that was the lip liner. It's the same component and it works well for both. I love this color put on my lips and then blurred out with my finger. It's not easy to get it to be perfect because it's a really liquidy product and you're making this line and it's probably gonna be messy. So after I do a line, I'll take my fingers and I'll just blend it in so that it doesn't look like I've messed up and I have these huge harsh lines on my lips. This stuff does not come off, you guys. I have tried to take it off and it literally won't come off. So to me, that is an absolute win, and I've actually been liking wearing this more than my stains from Sachi Beauty just because those can be kind of messy and you have to be really precise. Again, sometimes it doesn't work for me. So the fact that there's a stain that I can just throw on and I don't have to worry about waiting and peeling something off was really appealing to me. So that was the first part of the lip combo. This is not a new product, but it was the second part of the lip combo I feel like I should share. It's the Forget the Filler gloss in the Cherry Vanilla, which I already owned. I hadn't pulled it out in a long ass time, and I'm so glad that I did because it is so pretty. So that is literally the lip combo, and it is so juicy, and it leaves this little like bit of a reddish tone to the center of your lips with this brown lip liner. It's so pretty. I've been wearing it literally every day, and I just have to say thank you to Scout. You are a trendsetter, and it is a gorgeous combo, and I think this will look good with anything in the middle. Which, speaking of, I also had a shade extension that I purchased a few from of the CoverGirl Yummy Glosses. So similar story where all of the Yummy Glosses were these sort of brighter, like jelly style shades from CoverGirl. I really liked these. I had the entire line that they sent me, and I actually only kept 3 because I was like, these are really bright. That's not my vibe really. And I love the formula of the Yummy Gloss. It's kind of like a glossy, balmy hybrid. And so they came out with a new collection of nudes, and I picked up almost all of them because I liked them so much. I haven't gotten a chance to really wear them all on my lips, but I will do a swatch for you so we can see what we're working with here. This is the shade Moonlight Eclipse. It's like this really nice brown. It's the darkest shade I think that they make in the nude line. This one I freaking love. This one is in Sunset Skies, and I knew I was gonna like this one because it's sort of like a caramel color. It's like this pinky caramel shade. So that one's in Sunset Skies. This one looks similar, but it has more of a pink undertone. This is in Sunrise Blush. I will say, the only thing I don't like about this shade extension is that it doesn't smell as good as the other ones. The other ones smell like Fruity Pebbles, and these smell different, which is fine, but that one's in Sunrise Blush. Again, it's more of like a pinky shade, more browns. And then this is the last one I picked up in Twilight Beam. This one is more of like a classic pink, and I don't wear this one quite as much because it's a little pink for me, but I think it is pretty. So those are the new, more nudish shades. What do you guys think? I like these two a lot. And I also like the brown, but these two in the middle are kind of my vibe. So yeah, if you're looking for more of a glossy oil type hybrid lip that is really popular right now, but you don't want to spend a ton of money, grab one of the Yummy glosses. They're really nice. They leave a beautiful shine to the lips. They're very comfortable. They're not sticky, and they're CoverGirl, so you really can't go wrong. Okay, I know this video has been really long, so we're going to talk about the very last thing. This, of course, is something I had to pick up. This is the new KVD full sleeve tubing mascara, and I love the packaging. It's so pretty, and I love the name full sleeve. Like, that is such a good idea for a tubing mascara because it's like tattoo related and also tubing. And the wand was really interesting online because it said that it has these hooks in them that are like meant to grab your lashes like each one by one. And unfortunately, it does not do that because of a few things, in my opinion. One, the wand is synthetic. In my opinion, a tubing mascara really needs a natural bristle wand because the mascara itself is already wanting to stick to each other because it's a tubing formulation. So you need something like a natural bristle wand to really rake through each and every lash. Two, I think the wand is too big. It's really bulbous on the top, so it doesn't give you a lot of room to really get in there and get through your lashes. But three is that the formulation is way too thin and too lightweight. So it's saturating this brush and filling in all of the gaps where those hooks are supposed to be. So I kind of like it. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry down a little bit, but I'm just so much more of a fan of a natural bristle wand. It's like deep within me that a natural bristle wand is always going to be better for your lashes if you're going for what I like to go for, which is like a wispy look, than a really fat synthetic wand, even if it is like something new and different. If the formula is too thin to stay in the hooks and to really rake through your lashes, then it's kind of useless. TBD, it does tube off very well and it does last. I wore this to Barbie and I cried 3 times and it didn't budge. So I can appreciate a good tubing mascara, but I don't love the wand, and I think the formula needs a little bit of time. Okay, that was a lot. But you know me, I'm long-winded. I like to talk about things. I hope this was helpful to you in some way. If you have a question about any of these new launches or shade expansions, let me know in the comments down below. I think next I'm going to be filming my empties video or my top 5 new launches video. I love you guys, and I wanted to say also, I think by the time this goes up, TBD, my first drop of the freckle pen will be over, which is crazy. So we'll be opening another drop in a few weeks, and we'll be doing fulfillment now for the next couple weeks. So I'm so excited to see you guys getting your freckle pens in the mail and wearing them and using them, and I hope you freaking love them. So if you do get one or you did buy one, please tag me once you get it so I can see all the cute looks that you make, and we can do a tutorial together on YouTube if you want. So anyways, I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next one soon.